Okay, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. And my plan today is to look at some real strengthening poses. Side plank, Vashistasana. We're going to do regular plank just to get into that core and back strength and shoulders. But that said, if you're having any kind of wrist issues, you'll do the poses on your forearms. You don't have to hold as long, and you can also bring your knees down to the mat, like in plank, to make it a little bit more approachable. But we'll make sure everybody's nice and warm before we head into those modified plank poses. And then I know Pam is here, and I know there's more people. Andrea, do you guys have any requests today? Betty or Andrea or Pam? Anybody have a request? Okay. Okay. I'm going to take that as a no. So let's start sitting however you'd like. You can rock a little bit. It's a very cold, kind of creaky morning, so we'll do a good warm up today. And just close your eyes, welcoming in this cleansing rain. And I think it's a full moon too. So really feeling open and that energy of turning inward, feeling calm and grounded. And we'll exhale your chin towards your chest. Take any movement here with your head that would feel good. Unkinking your neck from your sleep. Good. And we'll inhale, ears over shoulders, and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And let's do that a couple times today, just kind of shrugging, feeling your chest open as you bring your arms back and waking up those upper back muscles a little bit. Good. Nice. And we'll release. We're going to come right into table. Taking the time to spread out your hands, wrists under shoulders. And let's take the right leg back, press through the ball of that right foot. And just open the sole of the foot, stretch out your calf. We'll do one more breath here. Come back into table, take a cat tilt. You're gonna let your head drop. Really pull that belly button up towards the ceiling. And then inhale back through table. Second side. So left leg, press through the ball of that left foot. Trying to stay even on both hands. Opening the calf. Maybe tightening the quad a little bit here so you're more active through the leg. We'll release, table. One more cat tilt. And let's go ahead and come all the way up onto your fingertips in your cat. Really puff up your upper back and move into child's pose. Any way you'd like. And then we'll slowly come back into table. So I know we're still kind of warming up and creaky, but let's get into thread the needle to get some heat going through the belly. Right arm's gonna come up, breathe in, open your chest, exhale, right arm under left. And we'll be active today. Press through that left hand, taking the twist in the middle back. And really breathe out one more round. And we'll press down through the left, lift the belly up to come back into the place we started. Open the chest, exhale, release. Second side, using that inhale to expand, exhale to twist. And just easy neck here. You can relax your ear down or tuck the chin under. Let's do one more big breath out. Good. And then we'll inhale, come back up. Reopen that inner shoulder. Good. We'll exhale, release. And then just take any movement in your table that would feel good. Nice, and we're gonna look down at your hands, press through all 10 roots of the fingers, especially that index finger and thumb. Tuck your toes under, stretching the soles of the feet. We're gonna reach your hips for your heels. Just take a breath or two there, opening those feet. Definitely feeling it through the big toe side, and then we'll lift your hips up, downward dog. You take any movement here that feels good. Maybe adding another little twist, bringing the heels to one side, bending your knees. Good, and we'll come back to the center if you're in your twist. And just take lots of little steps. Walk your feet up to your hands. And we'll take a breath here in Uttanasana. When you feel ready, bend your knees. Activate those core muscles to round up. Good, we get all the way up. We'll roll the shoulders up, back and down. We'll do a quick costume change here. Okay, so let's do 1A, 1B, and 1A just to really get that tapas flowing before we get into any kind of arm balancing. So feeling the legs activate in mountain pose, roll the shoulders up, back and down. And when you're ready, Surya Namaskara A on your own speed, feeling those shoulder blades glide on your back. Inhale. Using that exhale through the tough stuff. Good. Heart opening in cobra. Coming back up in one piece. 3 breaths in downward dog. Good. After your 3rd breath out, we'll step all the way up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Sweeping up. Good. Exhale right into our B, chair pose. Lifting off the hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump back. Plank to hover. So here you can bring your knees down if you need. Inhale, up dog. Exhale. Right leg. Good. Warrior 1, really squaring those hips to the front. Power down through that back heel. Back through your vinyasa. Second side. Good. Lifting the heart center up. Excuse me. And then your choice, 3 breaths, half dog or child's pose. Maybe taking a look at those hands again, pressing through the roots of the fingers. And after your 3rd breath, we'll come up. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, back through Utkatasana. Exhale. One more round. Hey, keeping it moving. This is the first time you've done 3 sun salutes in a row. Welcome back. And feeling symmetrical now, right to left in your dog. Good, and we'll step up. Breathing in. exhale. Good. Hopefully we're warmer. We're gonna look at eagle pose to open up the shoulders, and let's do the arms first and we'll add the legs. So right arm's gonna come up. This is our tree. Left arm is a snake climbing up the tree. And if it feels okay on the upper back, lift your arms up. So when you're ready, we're gonna add the legs. Left knee's gonna come up, crosses over right. And you can keep that ball of the foot plugged into the floor, or maybe try to wrap. Reaching the hips back. So squeeze those inner thighs together, lift the arms up. Those of you that want to go deeper can scoop in. Rounding that upper back. One more big breath out. And we'll inhale, release. Coming up, untying the arms and legs. Good, and just make sure you keep breathing out through that big squeeze so we don't get lightheaded. Second side, left arm up, right arm is gonna wrap, and we're gonna lengthen the arms up and squeeze. Right knee will cross over left. And you're trying not to let those hips do any twirly whirly here. Just reach both hips back squarely. Maybe scooping in. Testing the balance. And then we'll take your time. Good. And let's release. And just shake everything out. You can do that little floppy twist here. Get any tension out of the shoulders. Hopefully I didn't turn my microphone off. I'm good. When I slapped around. So let's go the other way here and open the front of the shoulders and the chest. We're gonna step your right leg back for Parsevo Tonasana. We haven't done this one in a while. So ideally, both toes are pretty much facing the front. If you need to cut that back heel into kind of a warrior one stance, feel free. Reaching behind you, I'll be the same way here. For the elbows, wrists, or take reverse Anjali Mudra. We're gonna draw those shoulders down, lift the heart up. Exhale, start to fold, pausing where you feel that stretch, or maybe coming all the way over. So side view. And we're trying to pull that outer left hip back, both shoulders onto your back, away from the ears. One more breath. And we'll inhale, lengthen to come up. Good. Changing sides. If you need to release your arms in between, feel free. Left leg's gonna step back. And this is definitely a big hamstring stretch on that front leg. So do what feels right for you as far as bending forward. We'll pull those shoulders down, pressure back into your hands, and then start to hinge. And just bit by bit, finding your version of the full pose. Let's do 2 more breaths if you can. If you feel wobbly, you can always bend that front knee a little bit. When you're ready to come out, lead with the crown of the head. We'll come all the way up. Release. Let's shake out the arms. Okay, so I got 2 more for us here. Working on the balance. Right leg's gonna step back. And we're just gonna come into a high lunge. And let's start by getting your balance, maybe bend and straighten that front knee. We'll hook the thumbs, making our diamond. And you're gonna pull on the thumbs, widen the elbows, lift your heart up. If you have the space, draw the arms back. So opening that chest, grounding through the legs. 1 more breath. Good, and we'll release. Push off that back foot, second side. So just 3 breaths or so. Good, so finding that steadiness in the high lunge, arms float up. And then making that diamond, peeking through, pull on your thumbs, lift up and back. So energy is moving down through the feet, but everything else is lifting up. One more breath. And we'll release. Good. Step it up. Let's take a pause. Release your back. Uttanasana or ragdoll, whatever feels good. Good. And then we'll go ahead and curl up. Nice. I got one more lunge and shoulder thing, and then we'll get into our theme. So let's start with the arms in Gomukasana. Right arm's going to come up, reach behind the shoulders. Trying to catch the left fingertips and pull. So we're here. Right leg is going to step back. And we have options. So if you're feeling a good challenge, stay right here. If you want to come forward and work more on that shoulder opening, press the back of the head into the arms. And then the extra credit would be to come into warrior three. Reaching that right elbow away from the heel. Let's bend the standing knee. Let's do one more breath. Strong inner thighs. And we'll inhale, step back. Good. Release. And we'll come on up. Welcome to those legs. Second side. So coming back. Oh, actually, we did the arms first. I think that's easier. So taking your Gomukasana and then high lunge. It may be different from the two sides. So taking one breath to lengthen that elbow up towards the sky. Keep engaging the abs here, bringing the front ribs together. Maybe heading out into that warrior three. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up as you step back. Beautiful. We're going to release. Take a half sun salute A to come into downward dog. Inhale. Free up the chest and shoulders. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step right back into downward dog. And feel open in the chest, strong in the legs and arms. We'll take one more breath here. And then we'll exhale, knees to the mat. Let's come into half dog. So crossing the ankles, if that helps ground you. You can also widen your hands apart. Rotate those shoulder blades onto your back. Chin or forehead to the mat. Good. And then we'll go ahead and just come up to a seat so you can see. We're going to do a couple different variations of plank. So the first one is going to be onto the forearms. If you feel like you need a little break, I was talking to Pam, if one arm is sore than the other, knees can be down on the mat or one knee at a time. So up to you. But let's start by measuring that chest width and then open the forearms like two railroad tracks here. We're going to come into plank, hips lower than shoulders. And this is plenty challenging, pressing through the balls of the feet and the forearms, reaching energy out of the crown of the head. If you want to go deeper, you can lift one leg up a few inches. So really feeling those core muscles. If you have a leg up, we'll change. Again, you could bring your knees down. Let's all go ahead and release. Knees to the mat. Take child's pose. Good. And then we'll come back up to a seat. So depending on how that went for you, if you need to take the easier version with the knees down, we're going to do full plank now on the hands. If you have any wrist issues, do exactly what we just did again on your forearms. But let's look at plank pose. So from table, Shoulders, elbows, and wrists in 2 parallel lines. Ideally, those inner elbows are forward. And we're gonna extend the right leg back, press through the ball of the foot, feel the belly lift up, left leg back. Hips lower than shoulders. And again, you can stay right here or maybe lift a leg up without lifting your hips up. That's the hard part. Good, if you have one leg up, we'll change. Nice. And then you can always bring knees to the mat. Let's all lower knees to the mat and take another half dog. Good. And then we'll come back into table. So we're all gonna do the forearm version of Vashistasana first, and then those of you that have trouble with the wrist, you're gonna stay with that forearm on the mat. So let's take the right forearm down to the mat, making a triangle with that top corner of your mat. And we want the elbow ahead of the shoulder here, not lined up. So we can wrap those muscles around the shoulder girdle when we come over. Other hand is palm down on the mat. Let's come back into plank. And then when you're ready, roll over to that outer right foot. So here we can stack left foot, right hand to hip, or any version of your side plank that works for you. Vashistasana modified. One more breath. Good, try taking the top leg up. We're gonna release, gently bring that left hand down, come back through table. Good, hopefully that was successful and you're able to access your core muscles. Second side. So I'm hugging all the muscles around the shoulders onto my back. I'm trying to stay in that inner wrist on my left hand. Plank. If you're ready, go over to the one side. We probably have a dominant arm that's stronger. Any version. Maybe lifting that top leg up without dropping the hips. And let's do 2 more breaths so we're even. Good, and we'll come back through table. Take a nice rest. Bring your arms back by your feet. Good. Letting those shoulders recover. We'll inhale, slowly sit up. All right, so at this point, we're warm, we're stretched out, and we're ready for the big Vashistasana. Feel free to do it on the forearms. That's safer. It's not easier because you're lower to the ground and you're really using your core. Much gentler on the wrists though, with the forearms. If you're ready, and I'll do a couple different variations. We're gonna start in downward dog. And just feel even right to left. Really lift those hips up and back. More weight in that lower body in your downward dog. And then begin to roll over to your right. Maybe pressing that left foot down in front of the right leg. So that will be easier. If you're ready for the full pose, stack the feet. I'm on the outside edge of my right foot. Maybe look up at the top thumb. You can also reach that top arm overhead. Those of you that want to challenge could take the legs straight up or maybe into that tree shape. Maybe grabbing the big toe. And this is my weaker side, so I'm falling back, keeping it real for you guys. And then we'll come back into downward dog. And that was about a minute, so might have some fatigue there in that right arm. Let's come down, take a pause in child's pose. Swirl out the wrist. And then we'll come back into downward dog. So knowing that the higher up these hips are and the more energized, the less weight into your wrist. And then moving over to our other side. So going to your left hand. Remember, you could stack your foot in front, or I tended to fall back. You could put your foot behind you. We're trying to feel those hips, one on top of the other. Maybe taking the arm or gaze up, leg up, tree, or any version of Vashistasana that would be fun. And we'll take one more big breath. When you're ready to come out, downward dog. Good. And we'll do one more child's pose. Hands back by your feet. Feel grateful for what you can do. And we'll tuck the chin under, coming into hare. So I'm holding onto my heels, press the balls of the feet down, open your upper back. One breath, and we'll release. Good. Hands by the knees, round your back up. And then just light as a feather, lift up, swing the legs through. Snuck that one in. So let's go ahead and release. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana. Rocking side to side to open those inner hips, feel grounded. And let's interlace your fingers, just swirl the wrists around. Yeah, that was a strong pose on the wrist. And we'll just go ahead and release your hands, head towards your feet. If you want, you can open your feet like a book, getting more into those inner hips. But taking a break on the arms for a few. Good. And then we'll inhale, lengthen to come up. So for time's sake, because I don't have a lot of time left here, we're going to do turtle or giant tortoise. You could either bring those forearms under for your feet. This would be the easiest version. Or turn your arms all the way inward, reaching behind you for the back of the hips or your other hand. If this is an easy pose for you, open into your straddle for tortoise pose. But we're turning the arms inward, stretching that upper back. So we want to feel no pain in the elbows. That's happening for you. Reach for your feet. And we'll stay here. 2 more deep, deep breaths. Any version that feels appropriate. Good. And then slowly lift the knees up so you can get your arms out. Go ahead and sit back up, and we'll just roll the shoulders around. Okay, so another all-in-one here. We're gonna look at Shavasana B, and I am a good one to demo because I have that knee injury. So I'm gonna take the right leg forward. Left leg's gonna come up, and we'll just rock that hip. And then see how it goes, bringing your left heel to the right hip into half lotus. So here's my challenge. I'm gonna take a block under the knee just to support. Left arm is gonna reach behind so we get a shoulder opener. If you cannot reach your foot, just bring your hand behind your lower back because you're still gonna get that front of the shoulder to open. We'll lift up. Exhale, head into your Shavasana B. If this is agonizing, you can always come into A and just reach behind. But let's take 3 breaths here. Good, and then we'll slowly and gently release. We're gonna pick up that knee. So let's go ahead and cross because you guys are probably able to do that. John B. Hug that inner thigh in. Either wrap right arm around the outer left thigh or elbow, taking your twists. Good. Breathing out, stretching that outer left hip. One more breath, lifting out of the lower back. Exhale, get taller, ribs, shoulders, head, and we'll just shake out that left leg. Second side. So rocking. This is my right heel. We'll come into that opposite hip notch. Taking the prop if you need. And boy, those knees are stiff on rainy days. We'll take right arm behind. You can use a strap here too. Left arm up. Exhale, flow forward. Or come back into A. 3 breaths. Good, and then we'll lengthen your spine to come up, releasing that right arm for our twist. Stepping across if that's doable, wrapping. Use that right hand behind you for leverage to lift up. Good, getting into that outer hip. Big breaths out. Beautiful. We'll release ribs, shoulders, head. Let's shake it out. Coming right into Pashimo Tanasana. You could use a mat or a strap here. It's nice if you can pull on something though, because you'll feel that upper back stretch. So I'm going to use a block. And then we'll take our deep inhale to lift up out of that lower back. Exhale, hinge through your hips. Keep reaching through the arms. Grabbing your mat, your feet or your block, pull yourself down. And practicing pratyahara, sensory withdrawals. Turn inward, close your eyes, and feel the temperature of your breath. Good, and we'll release. Inhale, come up for any version of Parsevo Tonasana. If the front shoulders are getting a little tender, bend the knees. Otherwise, we're gonna turn those fingertips in, reach behind, lift your chest up, press into your hands and feet, lift those hips up for 3 breaths. Finding that power in the back body. Good, we'll release hips back to the mat. Good morning. Swirl the wrists out. And we're gonna do your favorite curl downs. Legs straight is harder. Bending the knees is easier. So pick what works for you. But let's go ahead and round your lower back. We're only gonna do 4, making them nice and slow and thorough. Breathing out, curl up, chin to chest. Grounding through your feet, good. 3 more, so I'm gonna tuck that tailbone under, trying to bring the lower back to the mat. Good, easy neck. And then notice what's starting to take over here. Last 2, you're getting tired. Instead of arching the back to come up, just bend your knees like I'm doing. Pressing those feet down. We got 1 more. Good, and then we'll come all the way up. Let's all bend the knees, grab the shins, and come back into that hare pose shape. Tuck your chin to your chest. We're just gonna rock a little bit side to side. Open your back, nice strong core. Good, and we'll reach for the outer thighs. Keep curling down to the mat. When the head and shoulders get down, just take a few breaths here. You might turn the head side to side. I'm gonna switch my facing here. Okay, so back in the days of our live class, we used to do this. All I want you to do is make a frame with your arms. So we're going to reach for the opposite elbows and just see how this goes. Peer through that square. Maybe your arms come all the way down, maybe they don't. But feel that gentle chest opening. You can pull through the elbows. My back is coming into its natural curve here. So a little lower back bend. Let's just take a few breaths. If this is easy for you, go ahead and straighten your legs and pull the heels away from the elbows. Good. And then we'll release those elbows. Easy legs. Just bring your arms down by your side. Good. And let's go ahead and move into our closing series here. So walking the heels in towards your hips. We'll come up into Setu Bandhasana. If you want to work in a stronger way, rock the shoulders underneath you, interlace your hands, and press down. And just feel that heart lifting up towards your chin. Knees are reaching forward. You can always lift the heels up to get a little bit more lift and space in the lower back. Good. If the hands are interlaced, we'll release. Slowly come down. And then we're going to go the other way. Let the knees come in, heels go wide. Arms are going to cross over the chest, reaching for the opposite shoulder, coming into constructive rest. And take some deep, deep breaths in through the nose, sigh all the way out. Moving into our lunar phase. Good. And just feel that space in the lower back wide, space between the shoulders open. From here, we're going to relax your arms down. Good. And we'll reopen those legs so they're parallel. And we're going to take any twist here that would feel good. So I would recommend keeping that low back open, bending the knees, going side to side. If you like this version, the windshield wiper, do whatever feels good for you. I'm just massaging the hip sockets and trying to keep that upper body easy. And if you're doing the bent knee, hugging the knees in twist, it's a little bit stretchier on that opposite chest and shoulder. Good. And then wherever you are, we're going to come back in for one more eagle wrap. So let's start with your right knee over your left. Wrap that right shin around the left, or just cross the knees. Left arm's going to come up, right arm's going to wrap. And we're going to pull the hands overhead, feet forward. Exhale, scoop up and in. Trying to get those shoulders high off the floor. One more breath, strong core. And we'll release. Open into happy baby. And you might rock again here, or one leg straight at a time. Good. And we'll do our other side. Left knee on top of right. Right arm up, left arm under. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop. Trying to open that upper back. Exhale, soften. And then your choice, happy baby or diamond, on the floor or in the air. Excellent. And we'll just take an easy hamstring stretch. Bring your left foot down. Right leg's gonna come up. And you could play with opening or a little cross. Really feeling that space around the hip. When you feel ready, we'll change sides. Slowly lower the right leg. You can keep that left leg bent, pressing the belly down. And then switcheroo. Left leg's going to come in and up. And just really appreciating your health and well-being. All the places your legs take you. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly lower that left leg, pressing the core down. Nice. So just some ideas for our Shavasana today. If you're feeling still kind of tender in the shoulders, you could spend time here or in the wrap. A more challenging pose would be to do that Gomukasana clasp and lay on the arms, and maybe you just do that for a breath or two on each side. So I have my cow-faced arms here. If your shoulders feel great, you don't need to add another additional shoulder opener. You're just going to relax your shoulders down, palms up, and come into your Shavasana. And really take the time to release your head and neck. And I'll lead you through our guided relaxation. So if you're on one side with that shoulder opener, let's go ahead and switch. If the arms are overhead, let's go ahead and bring them down. But we did get pretty deeply into the shoulders today, so just make sure you're feeling that energy drain down and out, not holding on to any tightness. And then we'll close the eyes. Feeling grateful for the rain that we needed so desperately. And visualizing the cleansing qualities of rain. We're going to use the breath, just like water washing through the soil. As you inhale, drink in your favorite color light. As you breathe out, release any leftover tension or negativity. And keep that energy moving in with the inhale. Exhale, letting go. And do a scan from the scalp down to the toes, releasing and softening each part of your body. And if you get distracted, visualize that rainbow of light, full spectrum. Red at the tailbone, orange at the abdomen, yellow between the ribs, green at your heart, blue at your neck, indigo at the forehead, and purple at the top of the head. Feel balanced. And when you feel ready, take a deeper breath in through the nose, sigh out through your mouth. Or feel free to linger here in Shavasana as long as you like. Very healing. And maybe start to swirl into the fingers and toes, taking any stretch or yawn that feels good for you. And if you like, roll over to your right and come up to a comfortable seat. Feeling open and strong in the upper body. We're going to make the mudra of an opening flower here. So starting with the thumbs at the sternum and Anjali Mudra, keep your thumbs and pinkies connected, but open the other fingers like a spring blossom that I'm starting to see around Sonoma. And just feel grateful for our community, our health, and a clean, full breath. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compassion to all sentient beings. Shanti. Peace. Namaste. Thank you.